welcome the talented Vincent Bethel. Welcome, welcome.
Should we just do this thing standing or what?
Whatever you want to do. You're on top of the table. Let's get on It is a pleasure to have you here. How's your SpaceCon experience been so far?
Yeah, great, man. I'm psyched to be here in San Antonio with you guys. Great city, lovely weather. Let's go.
Lovely weather, yes and no. But welcome, welcome. We got a lot of great questions here. Actually, I love this question. I put it right on top. The question simply is, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yeah, thrilled to be here. I know it's a disappointment, obviously, not to have Charlie and Vincent here. So appreciate you guys showing up and supporting regardless. And I know that they wanted to be here, so I'll do my best impressions of both of them. We can have sort of like a three-way conversation.
No, we appreciate you being here, and we'll just FaceTime them later or something like
perfect.
that. Like I said, a lot of great questions, a lot of fun stuff here. I want to start off, where's Levi at? Or Levi? All the way back there. I love this question, it's so odd. Do you prefer sharks or whales?
I think whales. I think I'm a whale guy. Yeah. Cutting right to the deep stuff first. Let's go.
I'm trying to. I just loved it. I was having a crackle with some of these. Here's another one. I like this one too. Jonathan H. There's Jonathan H. right there. Favorite dish of all time? These are heavy.
Favorite dish?
Yeah.
I would have to say a saucer.
Plastic, paper. No, it's really a pleasure to have you here. You've had such a versatile career. Like I said, Heart of Dixie, double between. What keeps you chasing new challenges as an actor?
I mean, that's exactly it. I think I'm always looking for things to challenge me. Ways to expand myself creatively and sort of venture out into unknown territories. I tend to find that the things that are scary to me and that feel really uncertain are probably the things that are worth leaning into, and that's proven true in my career. When I first got offered the Bullseye role, Dex, it was terrifying to me. I was having like anxiety attacks about it not. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But then it's proven to be one of my favorite roles I've ever played. So, sometimes the things that scare you the most are the things that draw you in, and that's what I continue to look for in my career.
Yeah, we're excited you're in this role. You just mentioned getting the role for the original series, and then when they told you you're coming back for a whole different one, what was the difference in that phone call?
The difference of that phone call was that the whole industry had been shut down for basically a year because there had been a writer's strike and then an actor's strike, and I had also just had a baby, so I'd been out of work for like a year and a half, and I had a new mouth to feed. So I was like, I think I need to work, and then I got the call, and anyway, it was a great relief, and of course, it's been an amazing thing to be back with that group of actors and producers and creatives. Like, we really do have the best team in the world working on Daredevil, Born Again, and I think you see it in terms of what you see on screen. Like, every bit of creativity, of artistic ingenuity and integrity, it's all there on screen, and we put so much heart into that show, and I think I think that's part of what gives the fans a great experience of watching.
Yeah, the fans have been loving the show. What was, the transition? Well, first off, what was the biggest difference and similarities from when it was a Netflix series and then when it became a Disney Plus series?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest one that I noticed right off is we just had more money. The budget, suddenly we had Disney money. Keep in mind that when the show was on Netflix, that was still like early-ish days of Netflix. So Netflix wasn't like the juggernaut at that time that it is now. They didn't have hundreds of millions of dollars to throw around on stuff. So yeah, when I stepped on the set the first day on Born Again, I was like, wow, they got better catering. And I mean, other than that, nothing has been like so pronounced. One of the amazing things that I think they did very right when they rejiggered the first season of Born Again was bringing in Dario, who came from the Netflix world. He was the showrunner on Punisher. So he knew very much what the world was, he knew what the tone was, and once the show found its way again creatively, then I think it really has stayed very true to the original spirit.
Yeah, I remember when that show came to Netflix, I was like, Netflix is on fire now. It was like adding value in my head. I was like, this is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, hell yeah.
How familiar were you with Daredevil or Marvel before this role jumped into you? How deep in that world?
I mean, I was familiar with certain corners of Marvel, but I was not familiar with Daredevil really at all. I grew up reading, I was like a big Silver Surfer fan.
Yeah, Silver Surfer fans out there?
Sort of a random one. My brother was like a huge Spider-Man guy, and like Venom and all that, so I got into Spidey through him, some X-Men, but no, I wasn't really hip to Daredevil basically at all. Or Bullseye for that matter. So it was, it's so cool to get opened up into the world of those characters through the show originally, because I started watching the show before I was on the show. And then getting into the comics a bit more as I got involved in the show, and now getting to be involved with the fans of the show, which is like its whole own incredible part of that universe, which I just think is, it's just the most incredible thing in the world to me that we get to come to these things and meet you guys and just see how much love there is for these characters that both long precedes our involvement in it and will long carry on after we are no longer a part of it. So it's, the love that you guys show for the show and these comics and the characters is so cool.
And we love having you part of it, that's for sure, right? Just like the Marvel film, Marvel television is just as important, so I'm glad, we have all these new products coming out, when it comes to diving deep into the MCU. You've played charming and grounded roles before, but Bullseye is a whole different beast, that's for sure. So, is there a certain trick of tapping into that darkness and just
just letting my true colors shine,
Are we watching something to prepare for this role, or?
Look, I've been watching great villainous performances my whole life, and so I think a lot of that had sort of seeped in over the years of things that I loved and seeing different types of bad guys played on screen. But one of the things that I think makes the role of Dex so special is how human he is, and I think that's also part of what has really resonated with audiences, that he's not just like some sort of like mustache twirling bad guy. And that to me is the thing that I just continually find new inspiration and is in his humanity. He's a really messed up guy who is trying to find his way in all kinds of really dramatically bad circumstances. And sort of murdering a lot of people along the way, but whatever. Anyway. But yeah, it's what makes the role, I think, both really fun is that and challenging, is that there's this real emotional humanity to it. But also it's what connects, I think, the viewers to the character in a different way.
Yeah, people are loving your Bullseye, that's for sure. I got a question here from Alex, and I can't read the second name, Alex and Friend. Where's Alex and Friend? Somewhere there. They're asking, in what ways do you think your character evolved from the original series to Born Again? And maybe like what on paper has like kind of changed differently,
right,
the way you see it?
That's a good question. Well, in some ways I think he's more desperate than ever when we find him in Born Again. He's literally been like locked away, heavily medicated, basically without the use of his mind or body for years in a psych ward, and his only way out of that was to make this deal with the devil, right? And so that's that's what sort of sets him on the path of Born Again. I have good news for you, which is that in the new season that'll be out next year, there are whole new avenues of Dex's interesting, dynamic, messed up psyche that we get to explore, and that's some really, really fun stuff is on the way for Bullseye fans.
You don't even have to go there and ask you what to expect. You just gave it to us without anyone asking. What more can you deliver to us? What can we expect? Any maybe physical changes too, or some new looks or anything?
I get calf implants, but other than that, nothing major.
Not that, so we don't get too in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a ton of stuff to look forward to. I think, honestly, some of the best action sequences of the whole show are coming in the new season that'll be out in March. I think the coolest Bullseye fight sequence that we have yet to see on the show is part of this season, and like one that truly is fucking awesome.
You're the ultimate hype man, I'll tell you that. Like, we're getting excited.
But yeah, there's a ton to look forward to in this season, and as some of you might know, we've already gotten picked up for a new season that we will start shooting next year. So there's a lot more Daredevil, there's a lot more Bullseye on the way, Kingpin and all the rest, and some other fun additions as well.
Question from Tim here is, where's Tim at? Hard to see out.
I see Tim. I see you, sir.
So you have obviously a better view than I do. What was the most difficult part of the fight scenes? You know, was there any contact with Charlie as well? Accidental contact with any of the fight scenes? And you just mentioned...
Sure, it was accidental. No, look, the fight scenes are always challenging. It's a huge amount of planning. It's a huge amount of choreography. They are big undertakings, but they are also some of the funnest parts of the show, you know. So I think we all take a huge amount of pride in those scenes. We put a ton of work into them, and you know, we get a little banged up and bruised here and there just from the sheer physicality of it. But I personally have not caught a stray punch from any of the guys. I don't know that Charlie has. When we were doing season 3 of Daredevil, there's a scene where I'm sort of like, I would call it crashing out a little bit, and I punch a hole in the wall, and I sort of neglected to hit the right place on the wall, which is ironic for a guy who prides himself on having the world's best aim, and I broke my hand. But other than that, it's been relatively injury-free on the set doing these fight sequences.
What's the training like? How do you prepare going when you know you're about to film and there's fight scenes are coming, especially with the latest season, you're saying it's more crazier and wild.
Yeah.
Like, what's the training like?
I mean, for me at age 41, a lot of stretching, man. Yeah, I mean, look, we have literally like the best stunt team in the world. So working closely with these guys, you know, the more time you spend with them, the more that you hang around them, listen to them, and work with them, the better you are prepared to ultimately execute on the day. And that's really the name of the game. These guys are the absolute peak. But yeah, and then it's just about, you know, trying to keep your body in the best shape possible so that it can handle, you know, what is a pretty physically taxing job in some ways.
Yeah, I can't wait to see those fight scenes in the upcoming season. Charlie Cox is Daredevil. I mean, we love him as Daredevil. He's awesome.
He's alright.
Right? He's alright. He's right. Of course that would come from me. That makes so much sense. I love it. So that's what I was going to ask is, what was your first impression, you know, working with him, meeting him, and then you realize, I gotta hate this guy pretty much and go after him?
Nah, man. Look, Charlie, I'm sure some of you guys have met him at these things over the years. He is truly one of the kindest, most generous, just a real dude, a real mensch, and it's a great honor to work with him, and he just sets the whole tone, not only for the show, but for the show that reaches out and touches people. I think that we couldn't be luckier in the leader that we have in him. And as far as like, turning it on camera when we're facing off against each other. That's the fun part of getting to be an actor, is that you get to make believe. But yeah, we there's nothing but love.
It's a great cast indeed. We've got a question here, no name on it, but they're asking, what do you think Bullseye/Dex's music taste is like?
Well, it's probably not Katy Perry. I think I'm imagining like a lot of like very like emo, a lot of very emo 80s stuff. That's what I'm thinking. Like the Smiths probably are in there quite a bit.
I'm just thinking like that's what I love, and I'm like, oh, I'm becoming the bad guy, man, listening to that music. I love the Smiths though. I have to rethink my music taste now. Thanks for that one.
Look, I mean, I love the Smiths, but it's also good music to murder people by, so.
No taken, there you go. Another question here, no name, they're asking, if Bullseye was pulled into Westview from WandaVision, what sitcom character would he be?
That's a funny question. Dang, I might need to think about that. What sitcom?
Maybe a sitcom he would love to watch.
Maybe like Newman from Seinfeld?
Just comment like that?
The other great arch villain of all time.
Oh, I like that. So you're a Seinfeld fan?
I'm a Seinfeld fan.
I am as well. I gotta ask, you got a favorite episode on top of your head, or just...
Off the top of my head, I think it's, it was... Honestly, no, not off the top of my head.
I think that's Seinfeld all the time.
I love that show.
A question here from Matt. We have another Matt here. Somewhere out there. He is asking if Bullseye did become a super villain, what would his 9 to 5 be? And it says not FBI or CIA. What was the actual 9 to 5 be? Normal-esque job.
Right, like a professional darts player.
Or a postman?
Right, yeah. I mean, the Dodgers could have used him last night, I'll tell you that. I think he definitely should have been the starting pitcher for the Dodgers, for sure.
Another question here is, no name on this one either, but what other superhero or villain would you want to play and why? Well, what was like a hero you grew up, obviously other than Silver Surfer, what were maybe some other heroes you wanted to be when you were...
I mean, honestly, I think Silver Surfer would be freaking amazing, right? Like, how badass is that? Just getting to like cruise around space on your surfboard? That sounds pretty fun. So I'd definitely put him up there for sure. I think anybody who gets to fly, like Spidey, honestly too, like the swinging, that looks really fun. I think anybody who gets to fly or have something close to flying would be one of my dreams, because that's one of my dreams.
Well, we don't have the other Silver Surfer yet, and the possibilities in this multiverse.
There you go.
So put it out there.
Yeah, God willing.
A fun question here, no name on this. Do you think you could beat Spider-Man if you caught him unprepared?
Oh, I think I could beat Spider-Man if I caught him prepared.
Oh!
Look, man, Bullseye's a dangerous mofo, so I think he could give Spidey a run for his money. Yeah.
I love hearing that. I would love to see that. Are we praying maybe there's some way that can happen?
There are so many crossovers I'd love to see for Bullseye and for the MCU in general. But yeah, I mean, I think at least a handful come to mind that I'll be like, dude, I would salivate at the opportunity. So let's hope for some of those. I don't think Bullseye should be limited to just having to face off against Fisk and Daredevil.
I love that, right? We want to see more of that, right? More Bullseye in MCU. There's a fun one with no name, but do you think Dex and your character Riley would get along if they met?
If what?
Dex and Riley.
Riley. Who's Riley?
Oh, Riley. No, sorry. Riley Denimore.
Oh, God.
Didn't see that part.
Sorry, yeah, that's from
that's
a movie.
A callback. That's a callback question.
Maybe, honestly, yeah. They might get together. They're both kind of like weirdos in their own way. Yeah.
I haven't thought on. That looked like a funny one right there. What was, a memorable or surprising fan interaction you have since taking on the mantle of Bullseye? How quickly do you realize you became like really a fan favorite almost instantly, and everyone's obviously rooting to see more of you?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's sort of like the interesting thing about the way that the cookie crumbled with all this. Season 3 came out, and obviously there was like this amazing introduction to the character. I felt so honored to be part of the show and just have this whole like creation story in that season of the show. But then it was canceled within like a couple months of it coming out. So I never got to do like this kind of thing at that time. And then keep in mind the show was off the air for whatever, 6 years, 7 years. So it's really only in the last like couple years. I mean, obviously, like people will come up to me over the years and say how much they love the character and they love the show. But it really hasn't been really just until these last 2 years since the show has come back that I've gotten to see really firsthand, coming to cons and just as the excitement around the show has sort of like rekindled. Just how much love there is for the character. So it's been mind-blowing, honestly, to me, and I'm just so grateful and thankful for you guys for showing so much love to the character, and it means the world to me, man. It's incredible.
Well, we love having you in this world, that's for sure. We talked about Charlie, but I want to talk about Vincent. I mean, he is a force to be reckoned with, and such amazing body of work over the years. What was it like stepping into scenes with that kind of energy, and was there something just watching him work that you just kind of like, this is something I can carry on with me, because he's just amazing?
Yeah, I mean, dude, look, Vincent's a freaking legend and a character. He's like, you step on a set with Vincent, and he's a physically and emotionally imposing presence. He's a big guy. He's got a big energy around him, and he's also just got decades of experience in this business, working on some of the biggest, coolest projects ever. So he brings all of that into the room with him when you're sitting across him in a scene, which is an amazing thing, because it challenges you to rise to your A game, and if you're not there, trust me, Vincent will let you know. And if he's got thoughts about how and he takes, I think, his role as sort of like an elder statesman actor and an elder statesman on the show very seriously. He's a mentor to people. He takes people under his wing. He's encouraging, and he's just a full-on, real-deal artist, man. So I feel incredibly lucky to have gotten to work as much as I have with Vincent on this show, and I've learned a lot from him, and also I've learned a lot from him just by example. Just sort of taking him in his process, doing his work. He's a truly great dude and an inspiration, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we love him as our kingpin, right? There's a lot of shows where I think the casting doesn't really feel right all the time 100%, but I feel like Daredevil from day one, everything was 100% cast perfectly, and it seems like the cast has strong chemistry.
Yeah.
So what really makes this group click so well together?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is just that it is truly the least ego I have ever been around on a set ever, which is incredible when you think of like the caliber of the talent that is involved in the project and the careers that individually all these people have had. It's a recipe to have a lot of divas around. But I really, I said it earlier, but like it is a really special group of people that had they lead with the heart, man, and there's just so little ego involved in it, and I think all of that is what translates to making the show special. Everybody's just trying to give the absolute best performance and not let anything else get in the way of making the best show possible.
Yeah, and we're loving it, right? lastly, I want to ask you with the show, you know, what has this series from the beginning to now teach you about storytelling or yourself as a performer?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I sort of hinted at it earlier. One of the big things that it taught me in doing that first season was just to trust taking the risks of really challenging work. I didn't trust it at first, and I was fucking scared shitless about the role and how it would be received and all that stuff. And I think that's been a huge lesson for me of just like give yourself over to the work, give yourself over to the character, and sort of let it out there, let it resonate with people on its own. So that's been an amazing lesson for me. It's been an incredible lesson in patience when you have to wait 6 years, thinking that your character might never come back, but hoping that he will, and then it does. You're like, oh my god, that was crazy. So yeah, and then just a lesson in continuing gratitude again for all the support we get from our incredible fandom.
Now and forever, Mr. Bethel, you are our Bullseye. We appreciate you joining us today, and we're looking for more from you for sure.
Hell yeah, thank you. Thank you guys all for coming out.
Thank you.